Hey there, everybody. It's Tuesday and it's 2 o'clock, so that means it's time for Top 5 Tuesday. Of course, we are living in an entirely different world than the world we lived in even a month or two ago. And so it feels weird to kind of come on to the show and try to sell you anything. So I'm not going to do that. So I am going to issue out a thank you, though, right away to Brandon Marshall for my stylish hat. I am not giving this away. This is my hat. And this is the hat that I'm currently using to cover up my gray hair that's at the roots because, well, there's no hairstylist right now. I thought I'd jump on here today. Like I said, I don't have a typical top 5 Tuesday. I didn't even make a list of top 5 anything. I've been really racking my brain all day about what to do on the show. And so I thought I would leave it to you and see what questions you want to drop in. And it's interesting. So being on Facebook today, there's a new Facebook, like new look of Facebook, and I'm trying to get used to it. I guess there's a question for you. Are you an early adopter, or are you someone who doesn't like change? I mean, I don't think anybody really likes change, but I usually just roll with it. I just figure, hey, that's going to be like, well, a word we're going to use a lot today is going to be the new normal, right? So, it doesn't matter that I liked Windows 7. When Windows 10 came out, I really liked Windows 7, but I went ahead and switched because it's not like we were going to go back. And that's, I think, the lesson that is a kind of a life lesson. I mean, there's never any going back. It's just moving forward and finding a new normal. So, hey, Bob, it's great to have you here. I know you had a cancer treatment here recently, and I am just sending you my best wishes and love your way. And you are on the show like every week, and thank you so much for being here. And I'm glad you're here. So that's fantastic. But I guess I think we're all a little frustrated right now with being cooped up. Apparently, you can't even practice anymore. I mean, even though it's fewer than 10 people, I guess if racetracks aren't deemed essential, so can't even practice anymore. That is really frustrating. Brian says, greetings from the Corona capital of the country. All good here so far. I'm glad to hear that because I'm telling you, I'm over this. I'm over it, just being honest. But there is something I am afraid of, and I'm afraid of what's on the other side of this. And when I say it, I say this out of fear, not out of panic, but there will be a new normal on the other side of this. And I'm talking about for racing, but what does it mean for racing? What does it mean? And what can we do about it is a big, big question. And it's a question that I had from the very, very beginning is what can we do about it? And one thing that I'm concerned about the most is the health of our racetracks. And with our racetracks, what we need at racetracks is we need racers and we need fans. And the thing that I think we could be working on right now is to show up for our fans. Whether you know this or not, whether you realize it or not, because each of us is our own person and we live our regular life, and we don't think that anybody thinks anything different about us. I mean, we're just like a normal person, right? But if you're a racer, you're a hero to somebody. You are. And, and I've had to realize in my business, being an entrepreneur, that they're interested in what is it I'm doing when I'm not like on video, or that I'm not working on something that they can visually see. What does the rest of my life look like? And that's something people are interested in. And it seems weird to me. I mean, I'm just a person, right? And you're just a person, but share those things in your life. By sharing that, they can feel like they get to know you, and then they're going to be more interested in what you're doing with racing. And now, if there is one thing that we have an opportunity at right now, is just to show up. And it's just like me being here today. I'm not going to show up and try to sell you anything. I'm not, because, well, number one, we're not racing, and number two, it just doesn't feel right. So I'm not, that's why. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm still here. I'm still showing up for my audience. And I'm still going to be a resource for them regardless if I'm trying to get anything from you. I'm going to answer some more questions. Mikey says, nice hat. Yeah, this is from Brandon Marshall. So my cool hat right here. I'm sporting the hat. Oh, by the way, this is a Brad Shawley shirt. So Brad Shawley, a great racer, friend of mine. I see Jeremiah's here. So hello, Jeremiah and Bill and Mike. So thank you all for being here. But I think that just to share, I'm going to share a little life lesson with you that this is just a different kind of show today. But I used to be, well, I'm still interested in it, but I was very interested in learning about the stock market. And several years ago, I mean, we are talking probably close to 18 years ago, I went to a stock market investing conference or seminar or whatever you want to call it. And a couple of things I learned in there that have really stuck with me in how I run a business and really looking at how I view the world. And one of those is that the stock market is really built on fear and greed. So you've got greed up here and you have fear down here. And guess which of those is more powerful? So greed is powerful, but fear is far more powerful. So I always see the drops that we do. People just like, oh my gosh, run for the hills. Oh my gosh, it's going down. I'm going to sell it now. The other thing I learned, which was very interesting and just like give you a little bit of a different perspective, is that in the stock market seminar, they said, you're going to see news, but when it comes to the stock market, news is just news. There's no good news. There's no bad news. News is just news. It's how people react to the news and respond to it that makes all of the difference in the world. That's really a lesson. And let me give you the example that he gave. So he said to the audience, and people are like, no, there's good news and there's bad news. There's, what do you mean? He said, well, let me ask you this. If I tell you that a company is going to lay off 5,000 people, is that good news or bad news? People are like, well, of course, that's terrible news. It's terrible news. And he says, well, and you know what happens in the market? The stock goes up. Why is that? And the reason why is because investors see, oh, wow, they cut some expenses. Now now this company can be more profitable. Now, I mean, it's kind of an ugly example because to the people who've lost their jobs, it's horrible news. But to an investor, it would be good news because there's less expenses and now the company can make more money. So when we look at coronavirus, I cannot think for a second how that could possibly be good news. But when we look at it as news is just news, it is what it is. This is what we're dealing with. And how can we find a positive on the other side of this? How can we? And the only answer that I can come up with is to continue to show up for audiences. That's it. That's like all I've got is that we need to show up and be more positive and be a force of good any way that we possibly can, to use our time and our material and our talents to try to make the world a better place in whatever way that is. Maybe, even do something that you're scared of. And don't let anybody that's negative bring you down. I had a racer send me a message last night and he said, hey, I've been doing these videos and I've got other racers saying, hey, your videos are stupid and you're never going to get sponsored. That's just being mean. And if there's one thing I've seen from this whole thing is I've seen a whole lot of mean and I've seen a whole lot of greed. And it honestly just absolutely infuriates me because our time now is to stand up and be more positive than we've ever been before. And I'm telling you, it is getting really hard for me. And I'm about one of the most positive people that I know. And it's hard. It is hard. But what that means is when it gets tough is when we have to dig deeper and try harder and do more. So that's where I'm at with all of this. Oh, I guess there's more comments. Oh, yes. And Mike remembers my sign from last week. The if not now, then when? I mean, that's my question. If you're not going to start promoting your race team now, when the hell ever will you do it? When? Never. I can't even imagine. KL, great to see you. And I know KL's brother was in the hospital, which I didn't even know until he posted. And so Jared is out of the hospital got cancer taken care of. So glad to hear that. Brandon Reynolds is here. Hey. And Terry says hi. Andy's hi. Kale said he showed up, but that bitch Carol Baskin shut me down. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I might have to take a picture. I have two black cats. I did not mean to be a crazy cat lady. I had a cat for almost 20 years. He died. I didn't think I would get another. And then somehow, I don't know, I have two. So Pippi and Boo Boo are probably out killing things. Especially Boo Boo. Boo Boo so far in the last week has gotten a mouse and a bird. So wow, crazy. That's, you want to know little things about my life? Dead animals, lovely. Yeah, because anyway, I could be like the Panther Queen, right? With my two black cats. So Donnie says, hey, from West Virginia. Troy says, hey. Danny, how goes it East Coast? We went back to work. Ooh, wow. Good for you. Good for you. Gotcha. And hey, Jerry and Steve and Bill's here dropping in a comment. Good news. And Darren says, hi, Kat. Thanks you for doing these videos. Darren makes this amazing food. Darren, I think you're in Lake Tahoe or in that Lake Tahoe area anyway, but your Facebook feed is always full of amazing food and love to see that. I mean, all the cool things that you guys are doing there. Rick says, oh, loves my hat. Yep. Brandon Marshall. So I'm representing today. Absolutely. Mikey loves my stuff. And Kale says, thank you. Jared says, hello. Great. And thanks for everyone for the prayers and comments. He says to look out when it's time to go racing. Hey, you know what? Hey, see, we talk about good news, bad news. All right. It really sucked that was in his life. But the good news is if we all have to wait this out. So when we do get racing, if points start from the first race you can have, I mean, he's not behind. So there we go. Dan's stir crazy in New Jersey. Guys, I went out for a walk today. In fact, if you follow me on Instagram, my handle is just Kate Dillon. So I have multiple accounts of all the things, but me personally, I just Kate Dillon on Instagram, and I decided I just had to get out. I don't really leave the house much anyway, because I do work from home, but I did go to our Greenbelt area, and it was really cool because I hadn't been there, and I think I went there 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm walking and I'm like hearing the birds, and then I saw the waterfalls. There's this creek. It's not really, I mean, when I say waterfall, I mean like this much. So, but you can hear the water, and hearing the water and hearing the birds was just really refreshing. And I guess I'm taking this opportunity of this downtime because my phone's not ringing. And even now, I mean, I'm kind of letting my email back up, but there's still only like 25 messages or something today, where there's, 1,500 in my inbox. Ooh, wow. I mean, I have 20,000 deleted items here. I mean, I'm only 13,000 away from Hillary here for deleted emails, but that was bad. Anyway, totally random. Anyway, all I wanted to do is just pop on here, and I wanted to say hi because so many of you are here week after week after week, and really just wanted to thank you for being here, and I really appreciate. And I do want to do some shout outs for some folks who are doing a great job. Ben Shelton, if you don't know Ben's an announcer. He's announced for, I think, Lucas and World of Outlaws. I don't know his whole deal of all the things, but look up Ben Shelton on Facebook. His friends list is full, just like mine is, but you can follow him, and he's doing something on Thursday called Thursday Thoughts. And he started a hashtag, I think it's hashtag Dirt Fans Care, I think is what his hashtag is. But he's doing a show on Thursdays. And that was just like last week, he was talking about his top 5 or really his top 10 favorite racetracks that he's been to. And that was a lot of fun. And you just get a lot of camaraderie in the comments and people having conversations, and that's really good. I mean, that's one way that Ben is showing up for his audience. So still being engaged and being there for people and being a resource. I thought that was fantastic. Something here at Crate Insider, for anybody who may or may not know, for anybody who doesn't know, so Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines, he and I have been dating for like 7 years. So we don't live together. We have separate lives, separate businesses, but we've been dating for 7 years. But every Sunday we get together and at my house, usually grill out or whatever. But we have started here on Crate Insider where we're doing a Sunday show. It has a name now. It's called Unsealed, Life Beyond the Bolts. So we're there to talk about current events. We're there to answer questions. So people drop in questions, things like, what kind of changes do I need to make if I change from CHP to CHP plus? I mean, that was a segment that we did, just this last Sunday. Or what are his thoughts on E85, or what kind of spark plugs does he recommend? I mean, there any kind of questions like that, you can jump in live and we get those questions and go ahead and answer them just live on the show. So we're starting that now. We don't have necessarily a time dialed in, but every Sunday we'll be showing up and doing that. Some other great things I've seen is Bradbury Racing. They've been doing some live videos, or some, not necessarily always live, but they do some, I think they did a live unboxing, but doing some videos over there. Reed Racing is doing some videos as well. Love what he's doing. He's got a whole YouTube channel, does a great job. Mikey Burnham has done a great job. I love watching Tommy Belmer's stories on Instagram, and he's someone who's a truck driver who is out there delivering, all the delivery people. I'm so grateful for all the delivery people out there that are working hard. I'm grateful for all the people who are out there and have to expose themselves to all of the crazy people. I mean, gosh, thank you for your hard work and service. But Tommy's even isolating himself from his family just to make sure that he doesn't spread the virus. And I think that's really, really amazing. I'm going to see some more comments here. So Terry says, oh, he's laughing. Kevin Van Horn says, Ben is awesome. He's announcing tonight on the iRacing Spring Fling as well. Oh, thank you for bringing that up, Kevin, because I know I saw that Ben posted that he was announcing an iRacing event. I just hadn't paid attention to the dates at all on that. And so, yeah, for anybody who's doing that, I think is really cool. And, and here's the thing. I mean, this iRacing thing, it's quite the controversy, and it's something that Steve and I argued about on Sunday, because as you may have seen, or if you haven't, then I'll inform you, but Bubba Wallace in the NASCAR event, he quit. And then they mentioned that he rage quit, and then he's laughing about it. Bubba's laughing about it on Twitter. And then his sponsor, Blue Emu, in fact, it was a big enough sponsor that on Bubba's feed, it was what was showing, like, whereas the rearview mirror would be, was the Blue Emu logo. So this isn't just a minor little sponsor. And if you saw the sponsorship request I got last week, I mean, this is thousands of dollars to sponsor this event. I mean, thousands of dollars. And yeah, so Blue Emu probably got more press for dropping Bubba than they did for even sponsoring him, because after Bubba's comment about, man, people are just blowing up my comments, it's just a video game. Blue Emu's like, well, good to know. We want to sponsor racers, not quitters. It was an interesting perspective. And so Steve and I had to argue about it, because he thinks it's just iRacing is just a video game. And I say that if you're sponsoring something, I don't care what it is, that you should get full value for that. And I think, I don't care if it is a video game, if it's on national television, it's no longer just a video game, right? So, but I don't think the iRacing thing is on that level for this evening, but I think it's great. I mean, you bring in a professional announcer. This is no longer just a cute little video game, right? I play stupid little video games on my phone. I've always been somewhat of a gamer. Not hardcore or anything. I mean, I'm not going to have a gaming YouTube channel. I have to draw the line somewhere, but, yeah, anyway. All right. So Steve says, how are you? I'm coping is what I got. KL says, please, everyone, just find the good in anything and everything. This virus, it has changed us forever, but it has given me and hopefully you all a chance to step back and see the good in many things. Some of you have small children that you're quarantined with and have found out their teachers have not been lying. But take the time to enjoy your family, love your family, and understand that this is all a blessing in disguise. Maybe you weren't ready for the race season. This has been a time to get it ready. Look around and see the world outside of your bubble. Be thankful and be present. Thank you, Kate, for all you do. What a fantastic comment. And I agree with so much of this. I think gratitude is just at this point so hardwired in me that no matter what a bad situation is, I am always going to look for what is the thing that I can be grateful for? And if there is a problem, hey, I'm like anybody else, and I'm going to sit around and bitch about it for a few minutes. But at some point, I'm going to stop and be like, okay, you're either part of the problem and just spreading the problem, or you can be part of the solution. And if not everybody knows all the solutions to all of this. Clearly, we don't know what the solution is for curing the virus, but at the same time, let's look at our world and what can we do in racing to be part of the solution. And I think like these iRacing events, they're a great way to keep buzz going. And if you have any questions, you guys at all about how you can help racing and help the racing industry and the things that you can do to help us promote a positive new normal on the other end of this. If you have any questions about marketing, send them my way. Join my Winning Motorsports marketing group. And you can do any of those things and take it one step at a time. You don't have to go from zero to hero, just one step at a time. And just if you're 1% better, just 1%, and you just build on that. If you are 1% better each month, at the end of the year, it'd be more than 12% because it becomes exponential. And I don't know the math on that off the top of my head. Jason asks, are you still shipping stuff out? We are. So our shipping department is open. I don't know that my phones have been so kind of dead that I might just even close down the phone so I can really focus on like creating some content and some videos and reorganizing where we're going to go with on the other side of this. It might take the rest of the week kind of off-ish, but we're still shipping. And by the way, we have air filter bases and lids for now. They're going to go quickly. So jump on there and grab those. And Brian says hi. So that's pretty much all I've got for today. I've been actually rambling a lot longer than I thought I was going to be, but got on my little soapbox and it's hard to kind of get me to step down. But I want to thank you all for being here. You'll see me back here on Sunday with Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines. And we'll be doing our new live show that is Unsealed, Life Beyond the Bolts. And then, of course, I'll be back next Tuesday for Top 5 Tuesday. If you've got some ideas that you'd like to see on the show or some topics you'd like for me to cover, please let me know. And if you're looking for just some basic, how do I get started with marketing, I recommend Facebook. Clearly, you're already here because I'm on Facebook. You're on Facebook. You're already here. So if you're not promoting your race team, hey, it's 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes is all it would take just to have something short, simple, communicate with your audience and get out there. So I want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. And I will look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Have a great week.